G'day RG Bargy crew. Hope you're having a fantastic day today and your family's happy and healthy. We're going to take a look at the TruckSim GPS mod or plugin that I've been following for quite some time now. There's just been a major update to it, which has improved it immensely. I must say that once this is finally completed, it will be a fantastic addition to American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2. I've sort of set this up so you can get an idea of what it looks like. I'm not really set up to do this type of thing, but I've done the best I can. So what I've got up here is I've got the GPS, TruckSim GPS on my tablet, and in the background we've got the game playing, and it's sort of going to give you an idea so you can see what's going on. Now, previous versions of the TruckSim GPS had its limitations, but with the latest update, it has, like I say, it has improved its features immensely, and I mean, it's still just the beginning. But before we go any further, just get a few things out of the way. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It's free, and it would really help me out if you could do that. YouTube likes it when I've got more subscribers. And also, if you're looking at joining a VTC, there's links in the description if you want to discuss anything about the game. We've got a Discord channel where we're great group of people over there. Everybody loves helping each other out. It's all about having fun and helping each other out. So don't forget that. The links will be there. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can either do that by going over to Buy Me a Coffee page. You can either donate or you can buy stuff there. And there's other links in the description from the gear I use, and I get a little bit of a kickback from those links if you use them. You'll also probably end up getting a discount if you use it. But anyway, all right, let's get on with it. Okay, so like I say, this is a TruckSim GPS plugin that's, again, been out for a little while now. It's in its testing phase. It's not actually released to the general public. But I will say this, at first when it came out, it had quite a few limitations. But now with the latest update, so let's have a look on his Patreon page to see exactly what's happened. He says, hello truckers, version 0.50 Alpha 5 is going live on Android and iOS for all Patreon backers. Here's the changelog, followed by a few highlights and what's next. New and improved. Custom waypoints. Now this is the biggest improvement that I've found. It's just fantastic, and I'll show you how it works. Tap anywhere on the map, place a pin. You can place up to 9 pins to customize the route to your liking. You can also place pins without an active job. Compass with highlights north. That highlights north. 3D camera mode. Tap the compass to switch between 3D follow, 2D follow, and 2D north up. Maps have been updated. He's added ATS Reforma plus Sierra Nevada, as it was most requested map. Although I have found a few problems with that, but I will be letting him know about that. It's been updated. ATS has been updated to 1.56, so it's ETS2. ETS2 ProMods Europe for ETS2 has been updated. ATS ProMods Canada, that has been updated. ATS expansion, that has been updated. He is basically getting all the modded maps in there as well, as many as he can. Backend server is infrastructure testing. Optional Patreon login on startup, so we can begin testing. Backend details below. Now, the reason this is here is, again, I'll explain that down below. This is a very good idea that he's come up with, and I'll explain it, like I say, as we go along. Fixed some cases where disconnected roads caused the app to suggest longer alternative routes. Known issues. Routing can send you to the wrong company when two companies share the same name in a city. There are still a few problematic spots that cause roads to get disconnected, particularly in some cross-country borders in ETS2. I haven't come across that yet, but obviously there are some problems. Then he's got some screenshots to show you what it all looks like, and I'll go through that and show you. Then he shows the compass camera modes, Oh, I'm getting tongue-tied here. And 3D view. And he shows what it's all about. Now, this is what he was mentioning about the back-end server. And listen to this very carefully, because this is very important. I've just got to take a drink of water. Okay, so what he says about the back-end server, starting with Alpha 6, we're moving to the navigation calculations to run on a back-end server in the cloud instead of locally in your phone. Until Alpha 5, all map data and shortest path calculations ran locally on your mobile device, which creates issues that grow as we add more maps. So in other words, the more maps that they add, the larger memory capacity is being used on your device, and he's trying to decrease that so that it saves you memory and RAM usage, CPU usage, and app size. And as such, what he's doing is he's trying to host it on the cloud. So RAM usage, keeping a full map in memory is heavy. Devices with 3 GB of RAM or less often crash, especially on large maps like ProMods. CPU usage. The whole map data gets uncompressed each time the app starts up. This is the loading navigation data prompt at the bottom of the screen. On newer devices, this takes a handful of seconds, but on some older devices, this can take up to 5 minutes, and navigation routes will not show until this is ready. Now, I've actually experienced this with the Reforma map. ProMods was fine, but when I actually loaded the Reforma map into it, it would crash before I could even get started, basically. So this is a godsend as far as I'm concerned. It will prevent that from happening. App size. Each supported map increases the app size considerably, and map mod combinations will make this skyrocket. So what he's trying to do is prevent it from becoming a supernova of an app by hosting most of the stuff on the cloud, so that all you've got to do is connect to that. So here's his explanation. Overall navigation calculations, especially on large maps, are taxing on mobile hardware, which is not really suited for these kinds of tasks. Moving the heavy processing to the cloud will drastically reduce RAM and CPU usage on your device. Lower-end devices should work without crashes or long load times. More efficiency also means less heat and lower battery use. Again, a boon. This is great news. This change also opens the door to many more maps and combinations of map mods. The server has ample RAM to handle many maps at once, and we can serve only the mods you use on demand, so the app size can stay small and fixed. And of course, it sets the foundations for later multiplayer features. Bonus again, like sharing locations between users. Sounds great. Status. The backend server is live, and the app now offers Patreon login at startup to help test it, which I'm doing now. In Alpha 6, login will be required to verify an active subscription before the server computes routes. Please check that you can log in and that your tier is detected, which it is. If you have issues, So what's next? The priority for Alpha 6, getting the backend server running and routing calculations working. The exact complexity is still a bit uncertain. With any luck, we will be able to include a bunch of new maps soon. If the backend is working, the remaining piece will be Google and Apple authentication, and we should be very close to a public release. This is great news. Also on the list, next turn display with distance to the turn. That is great. Search for companies and cities by name. Another great thing. Quick search for nearby gas stations. Really good with a single tap. Also, as always, remember you can upvote the features and map mods you want in our official Discord server, and you can do that. And thanks, blah, blah, blah. So yes, great ideas. This will be a fantastic app if everything starts working the way he plans. I mean, even as it stands right now, it's fantastic because you can now do one of the things that you couldn't do before, and that is, I will show you now. Before, when you got a job, for example, let's go to jobs, right market. Click on where we are. I've already got a job picked. Okay, now when you pick the job and you set the GPS, if you watch the screen here now, if I set the GPS, nothing happens. You don't get a route to where the job is. So how are you supposed to know where to go to get to the job if you're only using this app? Well, eventually it will show you that. But for now, with the new waypoints that he has now included in this, all you've got to do is have a look at where the what the company is and where it's located on your job job description. So we'll now go back to that and check our job description. And this is how I will be doing it until that feature is released. So click on it, and we now find out that it's AI. It's in Moza, which we're in. Right? So we know that it's Moza and AI. So what I would do is I simply have a look on the app, drag it around until I can see where AI is, which is right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty small. Plus it's glary because of the light above me, which is super bright, and everybody says that I've got really white skin, but it's because of the light in here. But anyway, that is AI there. So all I've got to do is tap on it and see how this little blue square comes up. That's telling me I can place a waypoint there. So if I tap that, now I've got a route from where I am. By placing that, I can see where I am to my job. So now it does what I wanted it to do in the first place, show you how to get to the job and then show you a route from the job to the delivery. So now all I've got to do is jump in the truck. And get it started.
Let's do this.
And make sure my head tracking's set up. Okay. And we'll turn the route advisor off because we're going to use this one. I know there's a route advisor on the dash, but pay no attention to that. Installed it then. Alright, so we're off. Sorry about that, I had to scratch my nose. My head tracker doesn't like when I do that. So following this, as you can see, it's showing us the way. I apologise if my image of the game is a little bit blurry. That's because I've been testing out a VR headset as well that I was provided with by Pimax.
Keep right.
To do a review on. And because of that, my settings are set up for VR, not the actual, just my monitor. So I apologise if it's blurry for you, although it doesn't look too bad. So again, like I say, following this, it's showing me where to go. Of course, I've got the voice navigation, which I would have in real life anyway, and I would use this as well so I can see where I'm going. So giving it the realistic type of flare that you're hoping for greater immersion. Using this, as you can see, it's pointing north here, so we know where north is. I'm trying to do all this and watch my speed, which I'm speeding. Making sure I'm looking over here to see if OBS is portraying this enough. It's a little bit glary, like I say, I'm sorry about that.
Go straight on.
But you're getting the general idea. But when we get there and we pick the job up, this route will disappear and the new route for the job will appear. So again, if you want to, at any point in the job route, you want to put a waypoint for a fuel stop or anything like that, you can do that, and I will show that to you once we pick the job up. By the way, if you're looking for a great VR headset, I highly recommend the Pimax Crystal Lite,
and then turn left.
which I am, like I say, currently reviewing. I've had it now for about a week. I've been testing things out. It took me 4 days to get. I'll just put it back up. It's back up. It took me about 3 or 4 days to get ATS and ETS2 working in VR, only because I did the wrong thing, and I watched another creator's video on how to set it up, and he told me to change all these settings and redo the config and do this and do that. Basically, I shouldn't have followed that. I should have just did it myself, because eventually I gave up on the video because it never worked, and changed the settings myself to what I thought was right, and away you go, it worked. So while he was doing the right thing and trying to help people out, I think he was basically showing the wrong thing, if you know what I mean. Jump back in.
Ready to turn right.
We're turning right, are we?
Turn right.
Okay. Yeah, and as you can see, the route is now finished. Show me that I'm here.
You have arrived to your destination.
Where
Your route
is the
guidance
trigger?
is now finished.
Now that's a problem because there it is. Because I've got this is my real, keeping it real profile, so I don't have any green pop-ups. I have these white ones, which I should have put before. Whoops, before I went. Hello, here I am. Okay, so now keep an eye on this. When I do take this job, if I'm not too late for it. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so take the job.
Okay, here we go.
And now you can see there is a route showing me that this is where I pick it up, the actual trailer from. And then once I pick the trailer up, it will then show me the full route where I've got to go. Where is the trailer? Where is the trailer? Ah, there it is, around the back there. There we go. Okay. Alright, so let's go and pick that up. And again, keep watching. And you can see now it just acts like a normal GPS. I actually like the fact that it shows you a route to where you got to get the job. By the way, you can expand that if it's too small, so you can see, which is really handy if you've got bad eyesight or whatever, or your screen is too small. So we'll now go and hook up this. I always hook up or try to, unless I'm live streaming and people want me to be outside the cab. I always stay in the cab like in real life, because I find it easier for me to reverse and hook up doing it this way, because I'm used to it in real life. A lot of people say, why don't you get outside and do it? It's so much easier. Not for me. This is the easiest way. This feels way more natural. Okay, so now we've hooked up. I'll have a look. There you go. And look down here. You can see now we've got the tracking for the route. So we'll get out of here. Hopefully not crash into it here. And now I'll just stop before I go any further and show you what I mean about the setting waypoints. Let me just stop the head tracking so it doesn't go all over the place. Right, so let's say I wanted to stop at a gas station. What I can do is I can zoom in and find the next gas station, which is here. And I can just put a waypoint. Boom. So now I know I've got to stop for gas there. And if I want to go on a bit further and find somewhere where I need to sleep, because the route might be too long, let's say we want to sleep somewhere here, I can then put a waypoint here. Boom. So you can plan your route out. So if you're doing hardcore, you want to stop for fuel, you want to stop to rest, and you can do that up to 9 times within the route. And then press that to bring yourself back to where you were, and away you go. Zooming in can be done with these buttons as well, or you can just use your fingers, pinch, and away you go. So again, fantastic way that he's done this now, because it does actually do what I wanted it to do. So I can now find the job, then I can get in here, plan the route by putting a waypoint on there. You can take the waypoints off too. Oh, I forgot to show you that. So say you want to remove it, all you've got to do is tap on it and tap again, and it takes it away. So now the first one will be that one up here, wherever it was. It will now turn to waypoint 1. Get it here somewhere. There it is, waypoint 1. And again, I can take that off by tapping it, and then tap again. It's gone. Works wonderfully. I love it. I think it's a great idea, because then you can do away with the GPS in the truck. You can have this on a bigger screen. If you like a bigger screen, you can put it wherever you want, left or right. I've actually removed my dashboard from here, because my dashboard normally sits here with all the gauges, and I've removed that and just put this here for you to see. I will normally have that over here to the left, so that I can see that, and I have my dash as well. But again, you can see the major improvements. The great thing about it too is, like I say, you can, if you go in here, you can see that he's got configure mods, and by choosing your maps, he's got ATS expansion, ATS ProMods Canada, and ATS Reforma, and on ETS2 he's got a bunch of maps as well, and he's constantly adding the map mods to it to create it so that it will work on all your map mods, and probably on the big map combos as well. So it just makes it so much easier. Also up here you've got all your information, your fatigue, your batteries, your hours, your cost, what you're going to get paid for the job. You've got your fuel levels here, you've got your mileage, miles per hour here. And then down here you've got more information about the job. You're going to sell goods from AI Automotive, Alamosa, and it's 165 miles to the job. Oh, sorry, that's 15 hours and 6 minutes. I'm guessing that's until you have to sleep. I haven't really checked into that, but anyway, all your information's there. I'm not really explaining this well. I'm half asleep because I had a really late night. Sorry about that, but hopefully you get the idea how good this really is. I can't promote this more than I can't recommend it more highly. It really is a great app. So take a look at it, guys, and see what you think. I'm not going to do the job. I just wanted to show you how the GPS works. Now that he's improved it that much, that you can find the actual pickup point by putting a marker or a pin, and then you can go to the job and pick it up. And then when you get there, it actually shows you, for example, like I showed you when I went to pick it up, it actually shows you a track to where the trailer is. The GPS in the game doesn't show you that. All it does is when you get to the point, is it shows you a rough idea where it is, not how to get to it. So that is a real good thing, because then you can expand it and say, oh, I've got to go around the building, behind this building to get to where I've got to pick it up. Anyway, you get the idea. So hopefully that explained it, and you can see how great this is. So take a look at it. It's called TruckSim GPS. I'll leave a link to his Patreon if you're interested in helping him out. And hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. Tell me what I did wrong, and I'll hopefully improve next time. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.